Anyways, we are at Ace Hardware, and what we're doing is waiting on my son, because he's always crafting, creating, inventing, and working with, what would you call that? It's like working with wood, but working with metal also, working, just a craftsman? Would he be a craftsman? Yeah, that's what I think it's called. So we're doing that. I don't know what I'm about to cook today, but we might do a mukbang with the little ones. But they just been worn out at the park. It's 100 degrees, they say. So yeah, pretty crazy. But somehow there's a little feeling of I like it. I just like how hot it is, but it's hot as fuck. So but now like my little pigtail. Something I just did. I'm like, I need to start doing little something to my hair, because I just express creativity in my hair. So the book, one of the books that I'm writing right now, I emphasize creativity, because when you don't have, even when you do have, you should call on that creative spirit. Number one, I would definitely say call on gratitude. Gratitude is such a beautiful, beautiful, high vibrational energy to have. So you want to call on that energy and cultivate that energy into your spirit. Gratitude, like I'm so grateful. Someone said the other day something, I dare you to stop right now and say, I love where I'm at. She said, even if you're in the hospital, even if you're going through this or that, just say, I love where I'm at. Can you find appreciation for where you're at in life? You know that this shall pass. Whether it's you're high or low, you know? But find an appreciation for the smallest to the biggest of things in your life. And you may think like, I want more. I don't like the job I'm working at. But can you say, I appreciate where I'm at. I'm grateful for where I'm at. That don't mean that you have to lose the desire to want more. The desire to want more is human. It's our nature. You want more, you desire more, you deserve more. And from my understanding, the Most High wants to experience the most with you. So your wants and desires aren't a bad thing. Your ideas, your plans, you know, your mission, your purpose, it's all tied into the Most High. Somebody's calling. I hope you can still hear me. But other than the spirit of gratitude, the spirit of creativity, imagine you lost everything today. How would you feel? What would you be thinking? What would you do? Many people, even if you lose one thing today, even if you lose a certain thing, a certain person, a certain connection, a certain title, a certain this and that, will you allow that to get you down and keep you down? You feel like you can't pay rent. Are you going to continue? And another sister mentor, she said that, you know, worrying about money don't make you money. Worrying about the bill don't make half the bill get done. Solutions, action, desire, and a belief that you can make it happen. That's what's needed. Be very creative. That creative energy is very powerful. It's very powerful, and it has to be used in the most high righteous way, you know, because that can, many people are creative and they creatively fuck up some shit. So you got to be used in an honorable way. So make sure you're right with yourself. But you get to a certain point where even when you're throughout any of your journey, but at a certain point, that creativity, baby. And there's other things I would think about is that belief. See, people talk about belief, but I'm working on not skipping into the next thoughts. So that creative energy, man, think about you being down. You don't have nothing right now. What would you do? Would you sit in that Would you feel bad for yourself? Or would you create? Would you create a way? And I think that we've been out of tune with creative energy because we're in this competitive survival mindset, and I talk about this in my book. So I get how people are like, it's too hard for me to think of creative. I'm not able to pay my rent. I need to think about not paying my rent, not being able to pay my rent. That's what I need to think about. I can't think about creative stuff, but creativity. And you talk to anybody that made it happen when they were in that situation, the same situation you could be in. Someone made it happen through creativity. And what that looks like is being open. First of all, when you're worried about not having something, you're closed off to having it. And you say, I'm going to attract this. So open yourself up and say, I will have this. I am going to do my best. And even if something is not aligned, something is not aligned with what I think it should be aligned with, because sometimes you're not supposed to, there's some lessons there. There might be some blessings on the other side of not paying your rent. You know, there's certain things that happen universally. But with our human abilities, you would say, I know I can make it happen. What could I do to make, I don't know how much your rent is. I don't even want to talk about it. It's sickening. But there's solutions to that, right? There's solutions to people thinking that they can raise the rent so much because of governments, because I'm scared, because it's dogs, because I can do it. And but when we have creativity, we come together. When we have creativity, we create something out of nothing. We can have nothing and create something if we believe and if we push. Use that creative mind. That creative mind sees a lack and it creates something to fulfill. So, there's different ways that you can tap into your creative energy more. Doing my hair in a different style is creative. You know? Plating my food in a certain way is creative. Thinking of a way to better my life is creative. So creativity is not just, music and arts and entertainment. It's more than that. So I can't wait to go into that when I am writing the book. This is one of the first things I go into because it's so powerful and important that I think that when we get to a certain level of knowing what we want, we're just lacking creativity. So another thing that I think that is important when it comes to the mindsets and purpose is belief. And it's so interesting. I'm not gonna say no names, but I was trying to have a conversation, what you would call a conversation or a discussion on a live panel with someone, and they were saying, I don't believe in nothing. I know everything, and if I don't know something, then I don't entertain it. However, I understand how someone could come to that mindset. However, it's not logically real. It's not true. Because if you have an idea, actually my son, we just came back from Ace Hardware getting some bolts for something. So if he has an idea that if I do this, this, and that, then this can be created.
What? Yeah, what?
He has to have a belief in it. He has to have a belief that it's going to work. I believe so many people, right? You get so many bikes that people don't believe that it can be fixed, right? They don't know. They don't believe they can do it. It could be something very small, but they don't have the mindset or creativity, which we just spoke about, to make it happen. So belief is not something we should get rid of. Belief is something we should actually gain more awareness and control of. Because a lot of times we're believing something based on some old experiences, based on conditioning from the world and society, schools, our parents, our families, whatever, religion. We're being told what to believe. And yes, some of those conditionings are not conducive or healthy for where we're at or where we want to go right now. So yeah, but that don't mean we should do away with belief. That means we should have more understanding, awareness, control over what we believe. So your seatbelt whenever you can. But so anyways, belief is something that, I wonder what they about to put an Aldi's right there. Okay. Don't sleep on certain like these Aldi's and Save a Lot. Like Save a Lot will be having fruits with seeds in it, and sometimes like there's certain places like Publix or Walmart that don't always have the fruits with the seeds in it. So you just got to go by, check them out, and it'd be for the low. So I haven't been to an Aldi's in a while though. I don't know if they have it. I don't know. I think I know they have them in the Midwest. But basically, is this a Tesla? I know that ain't no Tesla. It looks different.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's the doors, but it looks like smaller. But belief. It's important to be aware of that, of what you believe in. And when you say know thyself and know everything, you can't know everything. You're not gonna know everything. So, and to believe that you only know what you know and not, it's at the end of the day, you cannot get around belief. Like, it's a part of the human construct, and it helps us get to a knowing. So once he actually tries what he believes could work, what he thinks can work, then he'll know what works. So then that turns into a knowing. But certain beliefs, we don't really know because we can't know everything. There's many things that we don't know that we can't even see with the human senses. So, and it's still necessary. Let's stay straight. And it's still necessary. Like the belief in yourself. You didn't say, I know myself. I know I can do this, this, and that. But it's still not you don't know unless you do it. But you have a strong belief. So yeah. And that's okay. You don't have to know everything. It's really smart to know that you don't know everything. Because you can't. There's too much stuff. And that is like a okay thing. You don't have to know everything. Because that leaves room for growth and learning. You know how many times people can change in their lifetime? If they never change, then they'll still have a mindset of someone that's not like cultivated or experienced. You're supposed to learn through life and grow, evolve. So your beliefs may change. Beliefs aren't always true. It's just something that you can consciously say, yeah, I choose to believe it's right to do good unto others, Some people don't believe that. But if we're more conscious of it, we would say, I'm not even going to go into the conversation of the right and wrong and what is subjective and not subjective. The only thing I would say is that one way that you can see what's right and what's wrong is seeing how it affects you or others. Does it hurt others ultimately? I'm sure God will want us to do that. The greater good of us would not want us to be doing things that hurt ourselves or others in a intentional way. I'm not talking about the little trauma bonding way. But yeah,